That was the first sanctuary ever in existence, and it is still in existence today. Now Moses came down from Mount Sinai. Moses, though, had to go right back up Mount Sinai. Why did he have to go up a second time? What had the children of Israel made? They made a golden calf, an idol. They made an image of a god. Moses broke the Ten Commandments. He threw them down because he was so upset. And that was a very important symbol of what the Israelites had done. They had broken God's law. Just because they have not received the table of stone yet didn't mean God's law didn't exist before. It did. There was sin before. Sin is a transgression of God's law, so there must have been a law before. They knew they weren't supposed to be worshiping a foreign god, and yet they did. Now, did God decide to bless another nation and give them his law since the Israelites had turned away from him? No. Did God give them a second chance? He did. Now, it's true that a couple of things had to take place. They had to be punished. After that was taken care of, God called Moses to go up Mount Sinai again. Now, Moses had to bring something up Mount Sinai this time. He didn't bring it up the first time. The second time he had to bring it with him. What did Moses bring up Mount Sinai, you know? The table of stone. You see, Moses had to come up Mount Sinai, but God instructed him. Go, cut out 2 tablets of stone, and then bring it up to me, and then I will write the law in the stone like I have here. So God broke the Ten Commandments twice. The first time God supplied the material. The second time Moses supplied the material that the law was written out. Now Moses came down from Mount Sinai the second time, and then they began to construct the Mosaic sanctuary, the wilderness tabernacle. Now it took them approximately 6 months to build. It was a relatively small sanctuary because it was portable. They were traveling through the wilderness to Canaan. And once they finished building it, after those 6 months, they had a day of dedication. Now, does anyone know who the high priest was in the days of Moses?
Aaron.
In the days of Moses, who was the high priest?
Aaron?
Who was his brother? Aaron. All right, so Aaron was the high priest. Aaron, the high priest, this was before they began to use the sanctuary. They finished it, and they wanted to make sure that God had approved of everything they had made. And so Aaron, the high priest, put an altar, put a sacrifice on the altar, and then God, showing his approval, sent fire down from heaven and consumed the sacrifice. From that day forward, they began to use the sanctuary service. Now we're going to move into the courtyard. There are a couple more sanctuaries I'd like to speak to you about, but first, let's move into there. There's the exit, follow the rope.